Well, it's pouring with rain, so no riding for me today. So I thought I'd have a look at this article in the Evening Standard, which should strike terror into the hearts of every one of us. James Goddard, yellow vest abuser of Anna Soubry, has Facebook and PayPal accounts deleted. I've seen the videos of the incident in which Goddard and a bunch of his cronies surround Soubry and harangue her. It wasn't nice. But nobody laid a finger on her. And the way they put it here, yellow vest abuser. It's one of those simplistic newspaper headlines which tells you everything and tells you nothing. An abuser, yes, he puts on a yellow vest and he was hurling abuse at her, but no violence. And Facebook now says they've removed James Goddard's pages for hate speech. That amorphous term that encompasses anything and means, well, I don't like what he said, so I'm going to shut him down. Well, I don't recall saying someone's a Nazi is hate speech, although now Soubry has proved that she really is a Nazi. I wonder if they're going to shut this down. Well, we'll see. And yet, Goddard was subsequently arrested as well. Now, the police say, by the way, that the arrest had nothing to do with the barracking he gave the politician. Pull the other one, sunshine. I don't believe that. And Anna Soubry, good God, she sounds like Margaret Thatcher, doesn't she? She even looks like her. She even wears the same hat. I don't believe for a minute she was born like that. She must have spent hours cultivating it. Doesn't she realise that you can look like Thatcher as much as you want, but if you don't have her bravery and her fortitude, all you really look like is a spitting image puppet? For those of you who've never seen Spitting Image, it was a satirical TV show featuring rubber puppets caricaturing politicians, a bit like what we have in Parliament now, the rubber puppets I mean, not the politicians. Real politicians disappeared long ago. Long ago. Actually, I'm being unfair. I don't think Farage is a rubber puppet, and I don't think Reese-Mogg is a rubber puppet. And maybe not Gerard Batten. I wonder if they ever get the feeling that they're the only real humans in a town full of alien substitutes, like the invasion of the body snatchers. Anyway, back to Thatcher. Thatcher would have taken that sort of heckling and she'd have just walked right through it, smiling, and with not a hair out of place. How I envy her, that hair. I could never manage my own. Anyway, it's quite sad, this decline in political fortitude, and it's even got the attention of Jeremy Paxman, who said something similar quite recently. However, that's not what I wanted to talk about, because the thing that we should really all be worried about is this bit. Facebook and PayPal accounts deleted. That is terrifying. A political agitator taunts a politician and his online presence disappears, along with his ability to buy stuff. What brought me to this is a series of discussions I've been having in the academic world about the ethical problems surrounding self-driving cars. I'll bet you didn't know there were ethical problems to do with cars, did you? Well, I'll tell you, there are lots of them, and not one has to do with putting Uber drivers out of work. To give you an example, I'll put before you what's called the train problem, or it's sometimes called the car problem, or the bus problem. It's a similar idea. Let's say you're on one side of a bridge and you can see that only a little further back down the track, a huge tree just collapses in front of your eyes and it falls over the rails. Then you hear the sound of an approaching train from the other side. You look towards the other side of the bridge where there's another pedestrian who's leaning precariously, just a little too far over the guard railings. He's very unbalanced, and you know that if you made a run for it and barreled into the man leaning over the rails, he'd fall over into the path of the train and be killed. But the train would stop before it crashed at full speed into that tree. And so the lives of the driver and the co-driver would be saved, and possibly some passengers as well. Would you do it? Well, from questions that have been asked a variety of people about this, the answer is no. On the other hand, if given the same situation with regard to the tree and the train, but with, for instance, a railway worker not leaning over the railing but simply walking on the track, oblivious of the fact that a train was heading his way, would you shout at him to run for it because a train's coming? And most would say, no, I'd let him die. That is, in most cases, we'd be prepared to sacrifice a life. The only problem we'd actually have is killing someone. And even if it's for the best of reasons, we can't do it. Well, self-driving cars have a similar problem. Let's assume the car is driving along and just round a corner, it comes across a group of kids running across a road after a dog. The car has to swerve, but the only place it can go is occupied by a woman pushing a pram. Well, what choice does the car make? All this has to be programmed in. And a lot of cybernetics departments and philosophy departments in universities are actually working on this and taking it very seriously. But ultimately, the morality of the various choices will be under the control of whoever is running the company that drives the car. Never forget, if you're in a self-driving car, you won't be driving it, but the car is not driving itself either. Some company in California will be driving it. Let's say the company's called Guidebook or something like that. And as we've seen, they'll be driving it according to their particular set of morals. It shows up in Facebook. It shows up in PayPal. And in Guidebook, its operation could well be swayed as much by the political opinions of the owner of the car as by the ethical imperatives about knocking over pedestrians. Furthermore, these companies seem vulnerable to governmental pressures. And if the government can, look, you can't tell me that they weren't involved in this. If the government can order the shutting down of someone's Facebook page and their PayPal account, they can close down somebody's self-driving vehicle as well. So you'd end up not only not being able to buy stuff, but not being able to go anywhere either. If we let governments get that sort of control, even over roughnecks we might not like James Goddard, as a democracy, we're going to be in a whole heap of trouble. And the problem is that quite evidently, they do have that power now. They've just shown it with the PayPal and the Facebook and several people, Alex Jones and Robert Spencer. They've all been subject to this sort of pressure from somewhere. Is anyone thinking about this? I am, but I'm not sure our lawmakers are. And that's a problem. Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe. And if you wish to donate, it's through PayPal at graniopteryx@gmail.com. Till next time.